Alrighty, welcome back everybody to Armored Better Reviews by me, Spitfire. Today we're going to have a look at the Armored Bunker / Lego Fortress. Seriously, this thing has Lego written all over it. The Challenger2 ATDU. I have no idea what that stands for. The Challenger2 Tier 10 thingamajig continues on the proud line of the Challenger series, such as having a tank and then strapping it all over with VR8, sending it into battle and bullying the shit out of lower tiers. This begins with the Challenger 1, has nothing at tier 8 for some odd reason, there's the Challenger 2 somewhere in tier 9, and then at last we have this. Let's have a look at the upgrade screen first to see what you get. The Challenger 2 ATDU does not get an armor upgrade. If it did, it would likely have even more ERA on it. Its stock armor has depleted uranium composite, which gives it absolutely mental. Just looking at it, look at that. Look at the turret front, side, rear. The turret front is 465, the side is 465, and the rear is 175. It also gets 2 armor retrofit slots, 1 firepower and 1 universal. Its top speed is 0 to 32 in 7 seconds. However, with like better crews, commanders and stuff, that can be increased. Improved suspension, stuff like that. One thing to also note is that the credits package gives you an injection of 1 million credits. Lastly but not least, the Challenger 2 gets the upgrade that all tier 10s do, apart from the Armata. Well, all tier 10 main battle tanks do, is a 140mm gun. This gives the Challenger 2 incredible hitting power, especially versus lower tiers where it just kicks the shit out of them. 747 damage, plus 10%, 730mm penetration, and a 0.11 accuracy spread, as well as a reload of just shy of 9 seconds. However, the actual reload, for mine, with my retrofits, this is the augmented breech lock, enhanced shell materials, which gives me a 10% boost to that rate of fire, as well as giving me better moving accuracy and better minimum accuracy. I also like to do reinforced engine housing and reinforced ammo rack to make sure that the tank doesn't suffer that much. You don't get any. Do you get any choice of heat rounds? No, you don't get any choice of heat rounds. You get 2 rounds. You get the armor piercing, armor thin, stabilized, discarding shot. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. And high explosive rounds. Consumables. To be honest, I would go for the full load here. Don't expect to make any money. Commanders, it's a toss-up between Freya, who gives you a module damage caused by enemies increased by 20%, aim speed, ammo swap speed, rate of fire, and damage to enemy crew increased by 50% for 60 seconds after destroying an enemy module. That means, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Jesus Christ. This means that firing high explosive at the optics of enemy tanks means that if you destroy that optic, a 50% enemy crew damage means that if you keep firing those high explosive rounds, you may very well may knock one of those, possibly the commander, the gunner, or the loader out. And on tier 10, knocking that loader out means that rate of fire goes up so much you'll be able to fire at least 2 shots for every one they give you. Carlos gives you increases acceleration in off-road environments by 15% for 15 seconds after firing, meaning that with say for instance you're on a dirt track and there's another MBT, you're behind a rock, you go away from that rock, you fire at them, your acceleration increases enough, meaning that if they're reloading, even if they're not reloading, that means you suddenly have a massive boost to your acceleration, meaning sometimes they don't even hit you. Aim speed and ammo swap speed increase. Yeah, alright. It only gets a driver and a gunner. So for the driver, acceleration off-road, because this is quite a slow tank, and quick draw. The last one I will probably use to go to do the twist and spin to win. Alright. In comparison to other vehicles, the Challenger 2 the tier 10 Challenger 2 Lego brick thing has the best side armor. Alright, seriously, look at the numbers. Okay? The challenge. You look at this. The hull, without sloping, that's just it on its own, is 861mm thick versus kinetic rounds. The turret is 953mm thick. The turret is only, well, we're talking about this part of the turret, is 933mm thick, and the whole size is 779. Don't even bother firing missiles at the sides or front of this thing, because they will not penetrate. This thing is the ultimate low tier bully tank, and when we go to shape charges, you're not penetrating this thing. Hell, even AP rounds fired at the cage armor can sometimes go through. Like I said, this is the ultimate low tier bullying tank. So if you're looking for something that gives you the ability to absolutely kick the crap out of lower tiers, for so far as I know, that's the only weak spot. It can be very easily hidden though. You go at this kind of angle, they can't pen you, apart from the Armata maybe. So if you're looking for a very heavily armoured tank and you don't mind perhaps a slower speed, the Challenger2 is for you. Okay, now I need to actually find out where the hell my replays are. This was the last game I played on my stream last night ish. Let's have a look at what happens. Alright, so this was quite an amusing match for me, to be honest, because I was one of 2 tier 10 MBTs on our team. This means that I was going to have to go to the brunt of the enemy, but I was like, fuck that, I'm going to kick some low tiers, because quite a few tier 9s in the game, but a lot of tier 8s. Those tier 8s have no chance versus a Challenger2. I'm serious. Let's just speed the game up here to 5x speed. As you can see, this thing is indeed a brick. I mean, seriously, it is basically a brick with Lego. It is a Lego brick. Speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up. Nothing really to go here. Teams go in the usual way they go on every PvP match. Some people go to the top, well, usually fast vehicles. Some people go to the bottom. I went to the bottom, and of course there's people who want to shoot me because I'm a moderator. Well, fuck those people. XM1A3 has the same hit points as I do, well, just about. Here, the aiming time of the Challenger2 is a little slow, and yeah, I had to fire that shot. No, nothing happened. There's an Ariete up there. I was like, I want to kill him. Please note that the XM1A3 has side skirts equivalent to roof slap tiles. That's why I find that tank so funny. I was like, oh, I missed that fucking crab again. I was kicking myself on that one. Initially, I was going to see if I could help out there, but then I figured I want to beat up this Ariete, and I wanted to beat the shit out of him. Alright, let's see what happens here. So, this Ariete, I think, was probably getting a little too confident, and of course this crab comes out, bang. Can you imagine doing that with any other Challenger? 821 damage. That is a high roll there, actually, and it's still enough to utterly destroy people. So this T90 over there, 786 damage. Even the T90 at tier 8. That T90 must be absolutely regretting his life decisions right now. And he's still there. He's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm like, have another 786 damage. I think I hit him in a driver's hatch there. I didn't really find anything else there. There was an XM8 there at over, but you know. And then let's see if the Ariete can kill this British tier 10 monster. No, he can't. Interesting thing to note is where the Ariete starts shooting me. He shoots me in the driver's hatch, which is the only weak spot on this tank. You see there? And I was like, oh shit. But that is the only time he manages to hit my weak spots. I hit his driver's viewport. So for this part, let's see where he aims. Bounces again. I think he was aiming at the driver's hatch, but it didn't work, obviously. He gets a couple of shots in the cupola on this tank. The cupola is probably the best place to hit it. Yeah, see, right in the cupola. Got over cold again. The Ariete's actually been doing quite a big. He's actually holding himself up pretty well. It was a massive mistake of him to go versus Challenger2, and he managed to damage my gun. I made a really huge mistake here, but this tank is probably the most noob friendly tier 10, and I am an absolute noob at tier 10s. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go over here, and then this Armata showed up. I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So I'm like, back up, back the fuck up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. This Armata has the best gun, but he has quite weak armor for a tier 10. I mean, initially I didn't know where to shoot it until I shot him straight in the little driver's port. So keep it that what you will. Right now I'm sailing. I'm somewhat side on to that Armata, so he can't really kill me, and I absolutely clean his clock. Let's just speed up the replay here. Yeah, and then this we have an XM1 that comes up. I'm just like, screw you XM1, I'm gonna hit you right in the face. Bang, 746 damage. What we can consider from this replay is you can see how well the Challenger2's armor hit up. That Ariete managed to get a very lucky shot, but once I angled myself, even that Ariete just bounced straight off the front. This thing is an absolute bully, and to be honest, while the Ariete might be, I mean, I want to say World of Warcraft, but I don't play that game. If we're talking about a group of people, the Ariete is the guy with the huge sword, but he's got very light armor. The Challenger2 is the tank. He's the guy with the huge shield, and you need to be that guy with the huge shield. You need to tank and tank and tank and tank, and this is the first Challenger that can really, really shit on people. The Challenger2 and the Challenger 1 before that kind of have the worst guns in their tier. They're very accurate. This thing just turns out on the head, and it has a massive 140mm gun. Pretty alright aiming time, to be honest. If you want to get that aiming time down, I would choose gyroscopic stabilizers. But apart from the gun, this tank pretty much follows the Challenger line. Very heavily armored, very hard to kill. The side armor is incredible, meaning that if you come up across a tier 8, you will absolutely destroy him, unless of course you let them fire your driver's port. But some kind of angling, let's see what kind of angling will get you. I would say, this is me personally, that kind of angling means that only the Ariete might be able to penetrate your thing there, and enemies will have to have a very, very, very lucky hit. Other things to note is other retrofit builds. While I prefer this kind of accuracy one, you could have the internal hull reinforcement, reinforced engine housing. If you want to go full reload, I would choose augmented breech lock and advanced thermal sleeve. If you want to go for fighting other tanks, advanced MRS and maybe experimental propellant. To be honest, I would swap out the enhanced shell materials for the gyroscopic stabilizers to get that aiming time down, although that aiming time isn't that bad. If you want to deal pure damage, experimental propellant and magnetic actuator will get you maybe, I think, about a 13% increase to your damage. A 30% increase is kind of, you're basically hitting people for 780, 800 even. Yeah, a 10% increase to that damage is 74. Is 47. That means you'll be hit. Yeah, you will. Your average damage will go up to 800. But if you do, that means you can say goodbye to your regular accuracy and your aim time. So whatever floats your boat, really. I wouldn't bother putting on any technology or mobility ones. This thing should be all about firepower and mobility. Last to note is the PvE kits. I don't really care, do what you will with them. Maybe you should take out the auto fire extinguisher and put the repair kit in, because this thing, well, all tier 10s do get their barrel shot at a lot, and if you get your barrel shot out, that's a aim time. That is a massive aim time decrease and accuracy decrease right there. So maybe carrying 2 additional repair kits. AP loads, well, you only get the choice of 2 shells, so majority AP and some high explosive rounds. To be honest, I would fire those high explosive rounds at the ports of the Challenger2 if I was facing one. They may not deal consistent damage, but the reaction of most people when you get a penetrating hit on hit on them is for them to back up. And if you manage to get someone to back up, you can make them make mistakes, and they make mistakes. Sometimes that means you can get in that extra penetrating hit, which will give you an edge. Apart from that, that's basically everything covered about Challenger 2 ATDU Tier 10 Lego brick thing. I'll see you next time.